Welcome to the Rebel Dietitian Kitchen.
Dietitian Kitchen. Yes. Hello. We are here making budget-friendly meals today. I'm Clara.
I'm Caitlin.
And are you ready to get started? And then we can just
get started.
Explain what we're doing.
Yes.
So it's back to school time after a summer of fun, which means that, you know,
the budget might be a little tighter.
Yeah, vacations happened, you know, but the holidays are coming too, so that's another thing to keep in mind. So we thought it might be fun to share some of our favorite budget-friendly meals. All of the meals that we're showing you today are under $10 and less. So really, really budget-friendly, and on top of that, much cheaper than going out to eat.
Definitely.
So what are we making today, Caitlin?
We are making a chickpea noodle soup.
Ooh,
so the purpose of this is to get away from using as much meat, because meat can be expensive. It's an expensive protein source. So instead we're using chickpeas, which a can of beans or even dried beans, cooking those yourself, are very inexpensive.
Yep, absolutely. And with this like rain, maybe hurricane coming, like a nice big pot of soup would be very delicious and very, very satisfying.
Yeah. What are you making over there?
I am starting our bean quesadilla. So again, we're going to use some plant-based protein because that can be a little bit cheaper than using a meat-based protein, but you could certainly use any kind of protein source in here. You could do, if you have leftover chicken or beef or seafood or anything, could go really excellent in here. I love doing quesadillas and those kind of things to get rid of things in my fridge. Once I've, you know, you buy a rotisserie chicken, you might not use the whole thing. So I am right now, I just sliced up some peppers and onions, and I'm sauteing that right now.
And I just stuck a little olive oil in my pot, and I am going to saute some garlic.
It smells good.
And I know some people question, like, I'm burning a little bit. Oops. Don't put it on too high of heat.
You're saying some people question,
can they get enough protein from plant-based proteins, like beans and things like that? And the reality is, you can make it into what's called a complete protein if you pair a bean with a grain. So here we have our beans, the chickpeas, paired with penne pasta. So that together makes a complete protein.
Absolutely.
Same thing with you, beans and a tortilla.
And a tortilla, absolutely. And we're going to use refried beans today. Again, a nice lesson in using up what's in your pantry. But like I said, you could use black beans, you could use kidney beans, you could use any different kind of bean. It would be delicious. So that would be good. Let me get in here. So I'm just sauteing my peppers and onions, and this is a great way of kind of, like I said, using things up, but also getting veggies in when you might not necessarily think about getting them in. This would also make an excellent round 2 like meal if you had fajitas for dinner. All about the round 2 meals. So, and then the last meal that we're going to be making today is a chicken fried rice. So using up, a great way to use up leftover rice, a great way to, you know, save on money. Instead of doing takeout, you can make it at home, and it makes that really, really easy.
Alright, so I'm just chopping up my veggies like a typical chicken noodle soup. We have onion, carrot, celery. I'm just going to stick them right in the pot with the garlic.
Alright, so this smells good in here. So Caitlin, what is one of your favorite budget-friendly grocery shopping tips?
Okay, so one of my favorites is using frozen produce. A lot of people think that fresh is always best. And while fresh is awesome, it's great, it's not the only way to buy produce. So frozen produce, especially like frozen fruit, is usually cheaper than fresh.
Absolutely.
And it's frozen right when it's at its peak of freshness.
Yeah.
So it's just as nutritious.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be more because if you think about it, you know, when strawberries aren't in season, if you buy strawberries at the grocery store, they're not going to be as nutritious because they're not in season, whereas like a frozen strawberry is going to be preserved right at that peak, so it's going to be very, very nutritious.
What about you, Clara?
My favorite is trying to buy in bulk, but of course when it makes sense. So if you're shopping for 1 or 2 people, it might not make sense to buy all your groceries at one of those bulk stores like Costco. But like, for example, something like one of my staples in cooking is chicken breast. So I was at the grocery store, chicken breast was on sale, so I kind of stocked up on it, packaged it up, put it in the freezer, so then I was able to kind of have it in there and it's ready to go, and it, have that as my backup. So
one of the things that I was thinking about was, and this is all on our blog, our tips for cooking on a budget, is I've used mushrooms, roasted mushrooms, to make my beef go further. So I'll roast mushrooms, I'll pulse them in the food processor, and add them to ground beef for burgers, for meatloaf, for taco meat, so that you can get more for less.
Yeah. It's a great kind of like more bang for your buck type scenario where you can, kind of follow that flexitarian type diet. I think that's the new word for it, where you do plant-based proteins, but you also do some animal-based proteins. And actually, so while we are doing this, we are doing a giveaway. So we recommend that everyone comment on this video. You can give us your favorite budget-friendly tip. You can give us your favorite food pun, food joke. We're all about that. And someone will be randomly selected to win a $10 grocery shopping gift card, which will be enough to make one of these meals. So, how can we do that?
What's your favorite food pun?
My favorite food pun? Oh, that's a hard one. I don't know.
I love all food puns.
I really like the
Usually ones that involve pizza.
I was going to say, I really like the let's taco about it.
Yes.
Not really a pun, but more just a play on words, if you will. So, I was going to say, do I have a specific favorite one? All food puns. All day long.
So wow us with your food puns.
Wow us,
You may
we're ready.
win.
We're ready. We use them at parties, like we're hit. People love when we take our food puns out of there. All right. And I see, Caitlin, you have vegetable broth over there. So
yes,
really this is kind of going to be a simple, out of the boat.
Simple what?
Simple meal to put together.
Oh yeah,
With
so
having,
everything's basically ready to go, pre-done for you. You
And
can even buy these vegetables already chopped.
you can. And I tell my clients all the time, there's no shame in getting things pre-cut. There's no shame in using some of these convenience products. If it means getting dinner on the table faster so that you can, get a little bit more rest, spend some time with your family. I think that it all is beneficial in that case. So, right, peppers and onions are going. Another one of my favorite budget tips, I know we didn't do it today for convenience sake, but buying cheese in bulk. Or in blocks, sorry, where and then shredding it myself because it's a little cheaper, and fun fact, it melts better.
It does. It doesn't have that
That coating on it.
coating. Best cheese for pizza is shredding it yourself.
Absolutely agree. I'll do it when I'm making lasagna or anything like that. So, and like I said, it's cheaper, and you just that's where you can recruit some help, get people in the kitchen, get them shredding for you. I'm like notorious on when my friends and I are cooking, making them shred the cheese. They know it's their job.
That's AJ's job. Shredding cheese, cutting vegetables.
Cracking eggs?
Yes, I made him crack 14 eggs on Sunday for our egg bake.
Yes. That egg bake looked delicious.
It was delicious.
Yeah. So we're all about, using up, I know you were saying you were just putting any veggies that you had in the fridge in it. So
by the end of the week, we had a lot of vegetables left over. Saute them, and then I just put in some chicken sausage and the whisked egg and baked it, and we eating it all week for our breakfast.
All right, so these veggies, this is where this can be a little bit customized. So I'm going to leave ours a little bit more crisp tender in this scenario, but you can certainly cook them down more. You can do whatever. You can season them any way you want, but I'm going to take these off and I'm going to build our quesadilla.
Like some cumin or some cayenne.
Yeah. Do we have, is there cayenne over there?
Oh, it's not open.
All right, well, we're going to open it.
We'll give it a little kick.
Caitlin likes things spicy.
I do.
She's the spicy one. I'm the sweet one.
I'm offended.
That you're not sweet, I apologize.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And using things like cayenne and some of these other spices is a great way.
Paprika over here.
Ooh, let's throw some of that in here. This is the beauty of cooking, is just, you know, try what tastes good. I think, you know, recipes are a great starting point, but customizing things for your taste is muy bueno.
Okay, I'm gonna pour it over. We have the vegetables sauteing. I'm gonna pour in this vegetable broth.
Smoked paprika smells delicious. Okay.
And now I'm gonna bring this up to high because I want it to get to a boil.
Ooh, did everyone see my ninja skills? That was, well, our Facebook Live and Instagram Live viewers did, so. All right, here we go. So this is gonna be on medium. Is your side? Oh, there we go. No, my side. I thought my side was off. Okay. All right, so we're gonna put this down. Are you touching my vegetables? You approve? All right, tortillas going down. So there are a few ways that you can do this. I'm gonna take one tortilla and fold it in half, but you could certainly do one big tortilla on there. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. First, conveniency. You okay over there?
Too spicy?
A little spicy? Well, we also have pepper jack cheese. So this is about to be muy caliente, so here we go. All right, we're gonna take some of our beans. See if I can do this. All right, mash this in, and again, you can use any kind of beans that you want in this. You can use black beans. You can use.
I like to take my black beans and mash them with a little bit of lime juice and cumin, just to give them a little bit more flavor.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is another meal that would be great for what we call like, just kind of like technique cooking, or like making a bunch of different types of things and having the family or whoever put them together, which works really well for some of our food sensitivity clients where they might be sensitive to one particular thing but the family isn't. So it's a matter of, okay, how do we meet food sensitivity needs but we are also, you know, not making more work for ourselves. So that's something, and we have a great food sensitivity guide that you can buy, and you can always comment on our Facebook page or email us at admin@arbitzer.com if you're interested in purchasing that. But it makes it really kind of easy to get dinner on the table with food sensitivities. So in this scenario, if you had, you know, wanted to do chicken, beef, pork, whatever, you can kind of set all the toppings up, have everyone make their own quesadilla, and then just heat it up. All right.
Yummy.
I got the cheese on. Okay. Now what we're gonna do,
I'm excited
is
to try that.
flip it. Ooh, look at that. Getting some nice color on that.
Nice color. Don't look at my soup, I burned the garlic.
You know,
Some little tasty bits in there.
you know, this is our lesson. I think we talk about it every time, but perfection is not.
I'm usually the one who makes the mistakes here. What does that mean?
That sounds like a personal problem. Sounds like Caitlin's gonna be doing some soul searching. Okay, so I am heating this up, and then this is gonna be ready to go.
And did you put any fat in the pan before you put the...
Yeah, I put a little bit of olive oil to cook the peppers and the onions, but this right now I'm just using kind of residual, what was left in there. So it's kind of, again, more bang for your buck. You're getting some of that flavor from the peppers and onions on the outside, and just using some of that leftover fat that was in there. I used olive oil. You could certainly use canola, avocado, spray, whatever's floating your boat in that during that particular moment. We can make it happen. Okay. This is going really well.
Is that a whole wheat tortilla?
It is just a regular tortilla, but you certainly could use whole wheat. You could use gluten-free. You could use anything that works.
Corn, but it would be little.
It would be little. And corn, you want to make sure when you're kind of flipping it over that it's warm, because corn tortillas, when they're not warmed up, break easier. All right, let's see. Do we have a viewer question about what type of tortillas we were using?
Nope, that was just my question.
Oh, that was just your question. So, videotaping for us today, we have the newest addition to our dietitian team, Kathleen Tabb, who is on, you are on Instagram, is that right?
Yeah.
All right. Hello. And then we have our awesome office manager, Candy, who's over on Facebook Live. So, there they're there. All right, let's see if we can. Oh yeah, here we go. We're gonna flip this guy.
Nice.
Nice technique.
Thanks.
Technique.
I've been working on my flipping technique. All right, here we go.
My soup's not boiling yet.
It smells nice.
Once it comes to a boil, I'm gonna add in the pasta, cook it for, 7 minutes, and then we'll add in the chickpeas and the Italian seasoning. And the thing about soups is, probably in this 20-minute video that we're doing, it's probably not gonna be at its best. You wanna let it simmer for a long period of time and kind of take on all of those flavors. So we'll just let it sit for a while.
And soups, honestly, that's why I love the slow cooker, the crock pot. Great for just kind of throwing things in there, not worrying about it. And they're also great to make in bulk. So freeze it up, defrost it when you need it. That's really, really great. All right. I think that we are probably melted. So let's do this. I'm going to give this to you for a minute. I'm going to take my quesadilla off the burner. All right, and let's cut it. Let's see how spicy I made this. And by that I mean how spicy you made this. Okay.
That looks delicious.
So
I like to see that meltiness.
So much cheese. All right, cheers.
Bon appetito.
Bon appetito. Oh yeah. Not too spicy.
I really like the vegetables being crunchier.
Mm-hmm. It's a great texture.
Yeah, and I love the beans on there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never gonna not add beans to my quesadilla.
I know, right? And it's a great, like, I always have the problem where I, like, left with beans, or I'm left with, like, something really random that, like, you can't just make a full meal out of, but, like, throwing them into something like this would definitely make, use that up. Okay. I'm gonna move on.
Okay.
Switch to, let me do a little scenery change.
I'm still waiting, so I'm gonna keep eating.
This is our division of responsibility here. Okay. So we are going to our fried rice. And honestly, this I don't think could be any easier. I think this is a pretty simple recipe that we're going to do. Make sure that this is heating up. All right, so thank you. So we're basically going to take some chicken breast. We're going to cook it. This is another great way to use up leftover chicken breast if you have it. And again, we did 2 kind of plant-based protein meals, which can be cheaper. So we're going to do one with meat. One thing that I recommend, of course, is buying in bulk if you're able to when things are on sale. And also thinking about how much you're buying, because sometimes a chicken breast can be 2 or 3 servings depending on the size of the chicken breast. So that's also something to keep in mind. You might not need 1 full breast for 1 person. It might be more of kind of chopping it up and doing
I always go by the poundage of whatever, because you can get 2 chicken breasts and it's 2 pounds of chicken.
Yeah.
And that's 8 servings of chicken.
Yeah. So that kind of helps with that. All right. Well, that's heating up. I'm gonna finish eating my quesadilla.
Okay. So we did brown rice that we cooked. That's going to be your cheaper option, but you can certainly get the 90-second brown rice.
Right there.
Again, you're going to be paying for the convenience of being able to cook it more quickly.
Absolutely. And it helps with, I think, of course, this is another good, like, round 2 leftover meal. Like, let's say you make rice for dinner, you have leftover, or you intentionally make extra. Like, sometimes I'll do that to make it easier the next time I do it.
Definitely.
All right, let's do some eggs. Let that heat up for me for a minute.
Would you like me to chop up your onion?
I would love for you to chop up my onion. Here we go. And we're also, again, out of convenience, using just mixed vegetables. But honestly, these are pretty inexpensive. You can get a bag of mixed vegetables for $1, $1.50 maybe, and it, really can.
And they have ones that are also specific for, like, stir-fry veggies. If you want to go more for the, what's in there usually, like?
Water chestnuts, broccoli, like those kind of things, peppers. We're using diced carrots, green peas, corn, and peas. So here we are. And we're just going to use these straight out of that. Now I'm going to take eggs. Eggs is another great, and this is a way that we we were kind of talking about stretching your protein. Because we're also including eggs in here, it helps with the kind of making sure that you're still getting enough protein, but maybe it's not all coming from the chicken. There we go. And you could certainly crack these into a bowl and, you know, whisk them up before you put it in here, but I'm not doing that because I'm a rebel. What are you doing? I'm just putting them in here, and then I'm going to sort of reach over you. Yeah. We're going to just use
I
this
tried, so we've been having fun at Trader Joe's recently. Been shopping at Trader Joe's, and we've been experimenting with the cauliflower products. Just because they're kind of fun. Cauliflower fried rice we tried.
Yeah.
Not bad.
No, not at all.
I will always say cauliflower will never be rice, so it's definitely not the same texture, but
it's a good
it's
alternative.
a fun alternative to get a little bit more veggies, and you could even add in some leftover rice that you have.
Yep.
Depending on what your goals are.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, I made this really good a couple weeks ago, like a kind of like on a twist on a chicken and rice casserole. But I did cauliflower rice and cheese and broccoli and chicken, and it was really, really good.
Yummy.
And it was a great just kind of alternative. And like that's another thing, especially with the cauliflower products, like cauliflower, like mashed cauliflower is a big thing recently. I had one client who his wife just put the cauliflower in with the mashed potatoes and he had no idea. Like he does not like cauliflower, and he came in, he was like, my wife tricked me. She did this, and I'm not upset about it. And I was like, all right, as long as you're not upset about it. So, that is going. Thanks for chopping my onion.
You're welcome.
And again, you can definitely use pre-cut things, but you pay for the convenience factor of it.
Right. So then it's maybe not be a budget-friendly meal.
No, if you're willing.
But in my opinion, if you're making it at home, it's probably going to be more budget-friendly than most restaurant meals.
Right. Well, if you look at this meal, I mean, like that we're talking for 4 people. You have the serving, right? So, how often do you go and feed 4 people for less than $10? Probably not very often. Probably not very often. All right.
So I think your soy sauce is actually out in the fridge.
Yeah, let me go. Do you want to go get that for me?
I'll grab it for you.
Okay. Thank you.
BRB.
So, for those of you who don't know, we cook in our office. So this is actually my office that we have our own kind of semi-kitchen in. So one cool thing is that, you know, if we can cook this in our office, you can probably cook it at home because we are definitely not a full kitchen in here. So
Getting close, but...
Getting close. We're working on it. All right, thank you. All right, my thing is getting a little bit slow, but we're getting there. Normally this goes faster than this. How's our soup going?
You know, it's just marinating all those nice flavors.
So let's ask Kathleen and Candy. Do you guys have any favorite budget-friendly tips?
I like the frozen food option, but also I like the pre-cut vegetables.
So you like a little convenience and a little budget-friendly.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle.
I'm gonna finish eating this. It's
lunchtime.
It's on my cutting board. I need the room.
Do you guys have any favorite quesadilla toppings you would use?
Guacamole.
Guac.
That's not budget-friendly though.
You know, avocados are sometimes kind of expensive.
Although, you know what I'm really loving at Trader Joe's? We promise we're not sponsored by them. We just really love them. They're mini avocados. Have you seen those? Oh my gosh, they're like little itty bitty. They're probably like this big, and they're like great because you can, I would say probably a serving is half of one versus a traditional avocado serving is a quarter of one. So you can,
Cool.
like if you're splitting it with another person, you cut one avocado between 2 people.
Did our thing stop working? It's still hot.
It's still hot now. It's kicking in. Oh, I already burned myself. We do this sometimes.
I'm getting a little bit of bubbling, so I'm just going to stick
Add some of that pasta in there.
that pasta in. Another budget tip. This is a name brand. Don't look at what it is.
Yeah.
You can save money by not getting name brand products.
Very true.
You know,
Very, very true.
another tip. There's not much difference.
Someone told me that they basically sometimes they're packaged at the same place. Like you.
Hey, maybe.
All right.
That egg is taking forever.
It's taken forever. We might have to do a swap. All right. Pause. I'm gonna dip out for a minute.
I don't know where she's going, so I'll just sit here and look at her egg. Okay, so I don't know what else to talk about. Any questions from the audience?
I have no questions. Do you have any?
Well, Joe commented that his favorite budget meal is zucchini bolognese over angel hair pasta.
Ooh, that sounds
Yummy.
good.
That sounds fancy for a budget meal.
Joe, when are we coming over for dinner? All right, we're just gonna switch this out for a minute and see if this works a little bit better. Because sometimes technical difficulties prevent.
You could actually start the chicken on that one.
I think I might actually. Let's not unplug that. There we go. Let's do this. Here we go. All right. I think this will work much better.
So what's the benefit of making my own fried rice?
You can control the salt. You can control
Ding,
the
ding,
fat. Well, we're going to use low sodium soy sauce today, so that you can control. And again, we can use we're going to use brown rice today, so higher fiber. Where, you know, traditional fried rice is done with
Though
white
brown
rice.
in color.
Though brown in color. I had one client who was very upset when I informed them that brown rice was not, or fried rice was not brown rice. Yeah.
It's the soy sauce.
It is, unfortunately. All right, this is getting better.
If you wanted to make the dish gluten-free, what would you use instead of the soy sauce?
Coconut aminos.
Coconut aminos. So, and it'll say, you know, they sell it generally in the soy sauce aisle, or they have the specialty food aisles. It'll say coconut aminos, and it's the same thing. And they have like teriyaki sauce too that could make a really easy stir fry. And
Tamari.
you said tamari. Kathleen is going to be one of our new GI dietitians, so she knows all the great products in there. Okay. Let's try and speed this little guy along. I think we're getting there. All right. That's good enough. We'll just
Perfect.
do it in more. And you don't even need to wash this. You can just wipe it out.
You just stick the chicken right in there.
Just want to take some of this extra egg stuff out of here.
How's the soup going?
Soup's good. Pasta's cooking. It's just marinating, hanging out.
Hanging out.
Very colorful.
It is very colorful. And this fried rice, I might have said this already, another really good way to use up your veggies. There's a theme here with what we are doing, I think.
Don't let food go to waste.
No, I was reading about, I don't remember the number now, but how much food waste is in the United States. It's just like absolutely, absolutely crazy.
I think one of the ways that we manage to reduce food waste is, and it takes time on the weekend, but we plan all of our meals. We have a purpose for everything that we purchase. So by the end of the week, there isn't like, we don't go and buy a couple bags of fruit when knowing I'm probably going to eat a piece or two of fruit a day.
Yeah.
We have a purpose for all of our vegetables and all of our grains. So we actually end up spending like not very much money because we have a plan.
Yeah. And that's like, you know, it's funny, you get to the end of the week and like my fridge will be empty and I'm like, okay, like, but then it's because we've used up all the food from the week. Like it kind of is funny. It starts like totally full. Like right now it's packed, but it'll be empty by the end of the week because it's filled with meal prep and kind of having fruits chopped up and all those kind of things.
For sure. So pasta's gonna be cooking here for another couple minutes. Once the pasta is al dente, I'll just add in the chickpeas and the Italian
ready to
seasoning, and it's good to, I think, sit overnight and let all of those
Things marinate in
things
there.
marinate. And you could even freeze it for a day where it's colder outside.
You could. I have some frozen soup in the fridge, and honestly, it makes great when you don't feel like meal prepping. Just pull it out of there. All right, well, it looks like we're having technical difficulties with our ranges because this is not eating. But
Bummer.
basically, I'll talk you through what you do for the rest of it. So we're going to saute the chicken out, and once it's cooked, again, you can use pre-cooked chicken, like if you had a rotisserie chicken,
for sure.
shred that up. And then it's a matter of just mixing everything together. So mix the chicken, take that rice, throw it in there. Throw some of our veggies in there and soy sauce to taste. And all of these recipes are on our website, so you could certainly do that.
Yeah, so a little bit of our slower recipes happen to be our budget-friendly
Yes.
recipes.
Yes.
And maybe not able to do it in 20 minutes.
Well, and I think also, making sure, we're obviously not in our kitchens at home, but I think making sure, you have your stove working would be helpful for that.
Yeah. Set you up for success.
Set you up for success. So we will see you next month in our next Facebook Live. It's going to be 1 month from today, which I believe is October 9th. At 11:30, we're going to be cooking up some more delicious things in our Rebel Dietitian kitchen. But until then,
Did we say all of these things are up on our blog? All
They
of our
are.
recipes are on the website, so you can check them out.
yep, and the recipes will be available on Facebook in the comment link and the link in bio on Instagram.
Go make some soup on this rainy day.
Yep, and stay safe in the hurricane this weekend.
Bye.
Bye.